Hey y'all, it's Melissa. Welcome to Update East Texas. And I know that I say I'm like super pumped every single week if you watch these, but I am because this is actually the first time that I've met Cole Reynolds, who's the owner of Greenway Gutters, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so like this is big. So my husband used to be in roofing. I have lots of friends who used to be in roofing. I have lots of friends and colleagues who are like, I need someone who can do gutters.
Right.
Like, what's the point? Why do we have gutters? That just came up actually in a networking group. Someone's
Really?
like, why do I need gutters?
You know, a lot of people, they just think gutters are just a piece of metal on the side of the house, and what kind of function could they really have? And we get that question a lot. What are gutters even for?
Yeah.
Right? And so, every home has a foundation. And when water falls off the roof, it can erode the foundation of the home over time. And so what gutters really do is they take the water flow that falls off of your roof, and instead of it creating a water line on the ground next to your home, we just divert the water out. Okay. It's such a simple process, but that's really what the function of gutters is.
It's really to prevent erosion.
That's it. It's to protect the foundation of the home.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, now I learned a fun little tip.
First fun fact of the day.
First fun fact of the day. So let's hop in. I want to kind of know a little bit about you. We want people to know why, who you are and why they want to do business with you. So are you from East Texas?
Yes, I am originally from Chapel Hill.
Okay.
I went to high school in Chapel Hill, and I graduated in 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I am a Chapel Hill Bulldog. I am here local to Tyler.
Okay, awesome. My daughter plays them in basketball. And
really? Where'd she go?
Cumberland Academy.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
But they always get beat with Chapel Hill.
Chapel Hill's a bit of a bigger school.
They are,
yeah.
and they're just coached really well.
Sure.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay, Chapel Hill. Mm-hmm. Tell me about Greenway. How did you come up with this? Like, how was this business born?
So, and you just mentioned that your husband was a roofer, and I used to be a roofer as well. And I was a roofer for about 3 years here in East Texas for a very great company that got me started in sales. And then along the way, they taught me some management skills, some leadership skills, and they really just put me on the path of self-development. So I sold roofs for a couple years, and then I managed a branch for about a year and a half or so. And I sold a really good job, and I made a nice commission on it. And I had been contemplating this move of moving out of the roofing industry into the gutter industry. Mm-hmm. And I finally made the jump. And the reason why I made the jump is I noticed there were a lot of roofing companies in town. Mm-hmm. And not a lot of solid gutter companies in town. Mm-hmm. I noticed that most gutter companies were just someone who threw a logo on a trailer and kind of worked out of their house. Okay. And with there being over 50 registered roofing companies in Tyler, I figured if we had a really good gutter company, someone who really took it serious like the roofers do, they take their business serious, but they treat their gutters kind of like their side business. Mm-hmm. So I thought if we could treat it the right way, do good customer service, that we could kind of take over the market for gutters here. So that's really why I started.
That's a good idea. Mm-hmm. So now roofing companies, do they do their own gutters or do they usually contract it out?
So I would say it's like a half and half basis. Okay. Some roofing companies will go and buy a gutter machine because a roofer is dealing with insurance claims on homes, and when an insurance company comes out, a lot of times they buy the roof and they buy the gutters. And so a roofing company is in charge of getting both of the projects done.
Gotcha.
So some roofing companies take it on themselves to do it, and then I'd say about half probably sub that out, and that's kind of where we come in.
Okay, cool. So you saw a need and you jumped on it.
That's right.
Okay. So was it just you in the beginning?
Yes, it was. I had one person that would help me actually do the jobs, but as far as selling anything or bringing anything in, it was just me. I answered all the phone calls. I did all my own QuickBooks, and did my own marketing and my own SEO just by kind of watching some YouTube videos. And but I had a helper who helped me install, and so we did that for our first 6 months before we actually hired our first person.
Okay, cool. So what was the most challenging part for you in the transition?
Going from a company where I had great support, where if I had a problem I could turn to someone who probably had the experience to help me over that hurdle, to where no one. Yeah. It's completely out on your own, and it's oh my gosh, I'm run up against a problem. What do I do? Well, I don't really have anyone to go ask, so I better figure it out. And that's really was the toughest part of jumping in a new entrepreneurship.
Yeah. So when you started that, you said I didn't even know gutters needed a machine.
Right.
So like, do you cut them, or like what is it that happens?
So a gutter, when we see it at first, does not look like a gutter. It just looks like a flat piece of metal. And they roll it up in a coil. And then the coil sits on the machine, and it feeds the coil through the machine, and it pops out as a gutter.
Okay.
And so we can call them seamless gutters because we can just bring the machine to your house and roll the gutter out at your house, chop it off, and then install it all in the same day.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, outside of the machine that you bring, and the help that you bring, how long does it take for a gutter like, how long does it take from start to finish for gutters to be done, typically?
The installation is very simple. And I don't think we've ever had but 2 installations that took longer than 1 day. So for an average size house, we're going to finish it in about 4 to 6 hours.
Okay. And then, but do you do any pre-work first? You just do it all right there?
We do it all right there.
Oh,
most of it,
that's cool.
Most of the time when we get a job, everything is already figured out. So we know exactly what colors we need. We know exactly what materials we need, so we're not running into surprises the day of the job.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, before that you get to the house, they pick the color of the gutters? Okay.
So say you call me, someone at our office is going to answer and schedule an appointment with you, and we try to get all appointments done within 24 hours.
Okay.
And so we'll come out the next day, we'll measure your house with a little measuring wheel, and then we got a color swap that you can pick a color on. And then we go back to the office, we do an estimate and email it out, and then as long as we get it approved, we usually can schedule jobs within 1 to 2 weeks.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So has the housing market impacted y'all at all with all the people buying up houses and remodeling and building and all that? Has that caused like a slowdown for you guys?
I wouldn't say
not a slowdown, but like a scheduling slowdown.
And it's not. I don't think it's the housing market as it is a lot of contractors, not just in the gutter industry, but all over the contracting space, are having trouble getting materials.
Yeah.
And we're running into the same problem.
Okay, gotcha.
So aluminum is one of the highest inflated materials to the year. We're almost up 85% since last year. So our coil to run gutters have almost doubled. Okay. Everything else has pretty much stayed the same except our materials. So we're trying to adjust with that. Sometimes if a customer wants a certain color, we may not have it, and a lot of times they'll not even tell us when it's coming. So we just kind of are on standby waiting for information.
Yeah. I hear that a lot. I have a couple of friends that build homes, and they are waiting like on cabinets, like just the top of like the cabinet, and they don't know when it's going to come around. Yeah. So
we ran into a lot of problems of the similar situation.
Wow. Any other kind of problems, like just economic type stuff or supply chain stuff that have impacted your business since you made the switch?
I mean, finding good help is always a hard problem. We have solid people now, and I'm very grateful for that, because we did probably roll through 4 or 5 people until we got the right people that we need.
Okay.
We decided we're going to be the greatest gutter company in the world.
Yeah.
And so we set a very high standard, and you either meet that or you don't.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you don't work with us.
That's right. So, okay, let's go back to this. We want to be the greatest gutter company in the world.
Absolutely.
So, tell us about that. Why is that important to you?
It's important to me just because there's like 5 people in our organization that I really like and I really think could have great careers here. And so I want to just build it up to where I can raise their income level enough to where they can really provide for their families without having to worry or struggle. On top of that, no one else has done it, I don't think. I think gutters has been an underserved market and an underserved industry, and it's been waiting for someone to come in and take it serious and do the Google and do the YouTube and market it the way it's supposed to be. And that's what we plan on being.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. So do you guys have like, you said in your office there's high standards. So like, do you have like a value system or what is it that you expect from your team for your clients?
We do have a core value system. We call it Operation Excellence.
Oh, cool.
Our number 1 is we're never late. So always be on time.
Awesome.
And then we have a lot of things about in the contracting industry. I think any contractor can relate to this. Sometimes you get on the job site and things just do not go as planned.
Yeah.
So one of our core values is we do not panic, we thrive in the chaos. So there's going to be situations almost every day where something pops up and you can either panic and let it kind of ruin the day or slow you down 2 or 3 hours, or you can say there's a solution to this. We're not going to panic. We're going to find it. We're going to do it efficiently. And so, and I created that one because I was the worst panicker in my business. And I made that for myself. It's like, hey, calm down. Things are going to be okay. Take care of business.
Yeah. That's awesome. That gives, like, I think that when you have, we're going to be the greatest, and then you have these core values, people know, like, how to level up. Like what you're saying.
I mean, and when you're trying to build something great, the people who work with you need to be able to see their place in the future as well. You know, you're not going to build anything by yourself that's truly great. You need a group of people and a group of great people. And those people need to be able to see where they fit in with your organization. If you have 10 people working for you and all 10 of those people want to make $100,000 a year, well, somewhere in your business, you need to come up with $1 million.
Yeah.
So if your goals were lower than that, you now have to raise your goals to where everyone on your team can see, this goal is big enough. I think I can fit my goal in with their goal and grow with this company. And that was one of the things I learned at the previous roofing company. They did a really good job of telling you, if you work hard, you can go here, and then you can go. They almost mapped it out for you and said, but you got to do the work. And so I think that's a great way to build something, is just to cast the vision and let everyone else buy into it.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really, really good. So you are a East Texas native.
Yes.
Grew up in Chapel Hill. Was in roofing how long?
About 3 years.
About 3 years. Had an opportunity to open your own business, saw a need for it, and then now you're on the verge of becoming the greatest gutter company.
We have some work to do. We've got some work to do, but yes, we are the greatest gutter
company.
On
the way, yeah. You are currently the greatest.
Yes. People just don't know it yet. Yeah. So.
Or maybe they do.
Maybe they do.
They just
there are some
you
people
yet.
that know it, but until the entire world knows it, we're still on a mission.
That's right. That's awesome. So, well, other than like your mission for your company, do you have a personal mission that you share, maybe like family-wise or anything like that?
I'm in a group that's called Apex, and Apex's mission is help as many people become the most elite version of themselves. And I've kind of adopted that as one of my own life missions. So if I see someone that I think has potential to be great, I'm going to try to extract it out of them. Right. And I'm going to push them. I'm going to press them in ways that other people most likely don't. I'm going to hold them accountable. And if I see you have greatness in you, I will pull it out of you until you tell me you don't want it. And then, we'll have to work something else out from there.
Yeah.
But I believe we were born to be great. Yeah. And then somewhere along the way, somebody told us that we shouldn't be, or that we couldn't do it. And half of us believe them. Yeah. And then there's the other half of people that don't believe it. I don't believe it. Yeah. Because I believe everyone has greatness in them. And if you try to tell me that I can't be great, I'll just go prove you wrong.
Yep. Absolutely. I would say it was on the half that was told he couldn't be great either.
Yeah,
and I'm on the other side, and I'm like, well, I am great, and I'm going to be great, so bye.
That is exactly right.
So I love that. That's really, really cool. So is there a place for anyone moving there's tons of people moving here. Yeah. Tons of people from other states, California, Oregon, East Coast. They don't know the local hot spots to go, right?
Oh, here in Tyler?
Yeah, in Tyler or anywhere. It could be Chapel Hill, it could be another East Texas city that you love. Where would you recommend they visit?
Oh my gosh. Well, if you want to go to a restaurant, we've got quite a few.
Tons of restaurants.
I think Tyler has more restaurants per capita than almost any city in the nation. A cool place that me and my fiance went to last week is called Pump Jacks. Okay. And it's an axe throwing place, and they also have some pool tables, and it's BYOBs, so it's a good time there. And we went and threw some axes. They got like pallets on the wall set up, and that was a really cool place.
Okay, but was your arm tired? Well, not your arms. You probably use them all the time. But was her arm tired? Like, is this a place that I could go?
Oh, absolutely. No, you can go and mess around. And we threw axes and then jumped over to the pool table and then got some snacks and jumped back to the axe throwing. Fun. So it's a really laid-back place that you can kind of just go and hang out. If you got kids, there's, of course, Grand Slam. Times Square Grand Slam's got a huge arcade, a big bowling alley. It's kind of like a main event or a shenanigans style of things you'd see in Dallas. That's pretty cool. What else do we got here? other than that, we got a studio movie grill.
Yeah, we do.
We've got some pretty good basic entertainment. I think the axe throwing place is one of the most unique things that we have here.
Yeah, my husband and I have been wanting to check that out, but every time we go to, like, schedule, it's booked.
Yeah.
And usually because we don't think about it, we think, you always want to do the cool things when it's, like, New Year's or Valentine's Day, and then it's all booked.
Those are always booked spots.
So, I'm going to have to check that one out.
If you go, make sure they give you the ninja stars, too. You can throw ninja stars and axes, yeah.
Well, that would be awesome.
Right.
Do you have to be 18 to go in there? I think so.
I don't know.
Probably.
I would imagine 16. So, probably.
Yeah. I was just curious because we have a teenager who loves like anything
sharp.
Ninja and like he has a sword
he would absolutely
and he's like
love
all sorts of stuff. So
I don't know, but you should check and see if he could. Yeah.
I think I will. Is there anything else that you want to share about yourself before we wrap up?
Sure. Yeah, I'll just share a little bit about my past. Most people that know me now know me as a business owner. I'm 27 years old, but the first, 5 years of my adulthood was a real struggle. So as soon as I got out of high school, I got almost hopelessly addicted to drugs. I became a pretty strung out drug addict. I was on a lot of pills, and I was headed nowhere fast, following the family legacy. And, I got sent to prison, and it was honestly the best thing that ever happened to me. I got sent to prison at 19, and I got out when I was 22. And in prison, I was able to get a clear head again. I was able to get the drugs out of my system. Yeah. And since a little kid, I've always had this spark, but the drugs took it away from me. And in prison, I got my head clear again, and I got my spark back. And I just had this feeling in prison that it's kind of hard to explain, and especially hard to explain to other people that are in prison. But I was like, I think I'm destined for really great things. Yeah, right. You're in a cell.
Right. Yeah.
But I knew it. I knew this deep down feeling in my soul that you can't hold me back. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna do great things, and I don't even know what they are. And when I got out, I was still clueless, and I was still a young kid, and that's when I got hooked up with the sales thing. So I would just say to a young person, like, if you've had some trouble, or if you've been even in trouble with the law, a lot of times as a young person, we think a small run-in with the law is almost life-changing. And it is life-changing, but we think it's life-ending. Yeah. And it's not life-ending. Right. And it can be life-changing for the best way possible if you allow it. That would be my main message, is that just because you slipped up one time doesn't mean your life's over. You can still go out and make something. I've personally been to prison 2 times. I've been out. I've failed more times than I could sit here for 2 hours and tell you all my failures since then. But you just keep persevering, and if you keep going for long enough, eventually you start learning things, and you quit repeating the same mistakes you made over and over. Then you start getting kind of good. Yeah. And once you get good at things, fun things start happening. You can really start building some things. Yeah. There's always hope, and you have greatness within you at all times. Yeah. That's what I would say.
Yeah. You were created on purpose for a purpose.
That's right.
So I love that, because I think you're right. I think when somebody hits a roadblock, they think, well, that's it. Yeah. Like, I screwed up. Like, I cannot get over this.
Yeah, and the devastation of that moment can be so emotional that you can't think, you can't see past anything like that. And so, they say time heals all, and that's a true statement. And maybe you just need a little time to get over your bump in the road. But don't let it kill your dreams. Yeah. And no matter what age you are, and we grow up as kids, and we have these huge dreams, and we love winning, and it's so natural. We don't have to be taught how to win. Yeah. We know the ball goes in the hoop, and we get happy when it happens. And somewhere along the way, adults get annoyed with it, and they say, don't do that, or quiet down, or don't sing so loud. Don't sing so loud. Don't sing so loud. We should be encouraging kids to sing as loud as they want. We kill these kids' dreams before they even get a chance to make them a reality. Yeah. So don't listen to them.
Yeah. Don't do it. Seriously. Thank you for sharing that. I think that's motivation just in itself.
I think so too.
So, okay, before we go, what's one tip that you can give business owners out there that are thinking, future business owners that are thinking, man, I really want to do X, but I don't know where to start? What's one tip or
people
advice?
Who want to become business owners but not yet?
Yep.
There is a thing called paralysis by analysis, and that means you can overthink your mission or your business so much to the point where it freezes you because you think, oh, I want to have all my details absolutely perfect because I'm about to release this and somebody's going to be watching it. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be judged when you open a business. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to tell you right now is you just jump and you kind of figure things out as you go. And that's what a true entrepreneurship is. An entrepreneur is someone who'll go jump off a cliff and he'll build the parachute on the way down. Yeah. You know what I mean? And most people want to sit inside and triple check their parachute. Yep. And that's fine, but the entrepreneur's halfway down already. Yeah. So that's what I would tell you is paralysis by analysis is a real thing. You can overthink yourself out of action. Yeah. And if you're at that point where you want to have all the details perfect, I would tell you you're never going to have all the details perfect. Yeah. This is a figure it out as you go. And the longer you're in business, the more you look at other businesses and go, man, they don't really know what they're doing either. Yeah. And I mean, it's just really, it's a true statement. We got a bunch of adults running around not knowing what we're doing. But we figure it out. And that's the true spirit of an entrepreneur is there is no problem. You know, everything has a solution. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think sometimes we can get bogged down with I have to have it perfect, but the best businesses evolve. Mm-hmm. Right, you start somewhere, you evolve. You start somewhere, you see how it works, you see how it doesn't work, you evolve.
That's
you
right.
See how it doesn't work, you evolve. So yeah, absolutely.
I started with a $16 self-made website. Yeah. You know, you just gotta start somewhere. It doesn't have to be perfect. Yep. Sure, we've upgraded since then. That's exactly what you said. You know, you start and then you get better as you go.
Yeah. And you have to. And the clients that you wow will be life clients for you.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
So I love it. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank
you for coming on here. I definitely am going to check out the Pump Jacks.
Yeah, got to check that place out.
And where can we find you? Social media, website, what is it?
Sure. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at Greenway Gutter Pros. And then, obviously, we're on Google. Where else can you find us? Oh, www.greenwaygutterpros.com is our website.
Okay, and the YouTube, what's the YouTube? Just to do it how you do it?
What is the YouTube?
What is the YouTube about?
The YouTube is kind of things that we did to build our gutter business. Cool. We know that Google owns YouTube, and so having YouTube videos under a profile that's also named under your Google profile helps your SEO a lot.
Okay, cool. So, definitely check out YouTube. You guys know YouTube out there. There's so much YouTube out there, but someone who has it, definitely support them, like, subscribe, and share it.
Yes, please share. Please share.
Okay, awesome. I'm so glad to have you on here. We will catch you next time, guys, at Update Texas. Thanks for being on.